I'll be calling you a radical. All hands on deck, all hands deck in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. This is important. This is a call out for the peace vigil. So I just got a message from Craig Filippo. So it's basically you got four people that run that whole fucking show, and someone has to be there 24/7. And we've been there since 1980, 81. It's 40 years, which really it's been longer than that. So if I got to jump on a plane tomorrow and go, I guess I'll have to. But I've got to be in Monterey on the 22nd. So all hands on deck. It's basically four people that run that whole fucking show. Filippo puts in so many hours to somebody, he's in a wheelchair. So Craig does a lot of the night shift. Josh has been doing fucking great work. He's been there a long time, and he does that fucking night shift. I mean, that ain't easy. It's right across from the White House, the little tent. This is important, too. Of course, Neil Cousins in the morning. You know, I take my turn as much as I possibly can. I have for decades. So, all hands on deck. Josh went on vacation for 2 weeks. You know, so they're very thin. I mean, they got crew. So, Mama was doing she was great at night. She bolted. I don't know where she's off to. So anybody that's in the D.C. metropolitan area, can you go help out? I mean, for a couple weeks. Is all this is for a couple weeks. We need a night shift guy. So, you know, I did a really great piece they're playing at two of the universities there about the anti-nuclear peace vigil. They play in their environmental classrooms at Howard University and at the other university there. And so, I mean, it's one of you students. It'd be perfect for one of you students. Now, this is important for Craig Filippo. They're the shit. I mean, they have sacrificed so much. You know, I love you guys. And Neil Cousins is the shit. That guy in the morning, he always says, Kevin, when you're doing the shift, people come by and put 5s and 10s. When you do the shift, they come by and put 50s and 100s. Well, that's because I talk about the foundation of this movement. It's not left. It's not right. It's peace. It's anti-nuclear movement. It was started on the backs of 3 Mile Island, the whole anti-nuclear movement. That's what started it. Anti-nuclear energy, anti-nuclear bomb. That's the fundamental foundation of the peace vigil. Bottom line. You know, and his name's not, this, you know, the Thomas Peace Vigil. You can go with that all you want, but his name isn't Thomas. It's William, was his first name. William Thomas Hellenbach. The Hellenbach people, which he was a fantastic person. He went to jail, got beat up. There was a lot of tents and a lot of people set up there in this peace vigil in 78, 79. He's the only one that made it. All the stints in jail, and a lot of people have come and go, and they passed away. Of course, he died. And then he took, I need to talk about this, because he took Concepcion in. Concepcion had been thrown out by her husband in New York. You know, she was from Spain. She started to have some issues, some mental and physical issues. She had nowhere to go. She showed up in D.C. at the Dorothy Day house, you know. Megan Rice is there. Maybe we can get Megan. I'll put in a call to the, you know. Megan's how old now? You know, and did a stint in prison. I'll send this to the Dorothy Day house over there. Maybe we can get, you know, one of the nuns to come do the night shift for a couple weeks. Which, you know, they used to participate. Getting old, right? Ain't we all? And so, I need to talk more about this. So, Concepcion took it over when William died. And Concepcion, God bless her soul, man. God bless her soul. I mean, winter, spring, fall, but she had issues, you know, and she took on the Palestinian issue as her number one issue. And I can understand that, more power to her. But that's not what the Peace Vigil is all about. The Peace Vigil is based on anti-nuclear energy, anti-nuclear bomb. It's a peace. Of course, it takes on all human rights issues. You know, that was Thomas was the greatest. He was the great. He was a California dude, by the way. So is Craig. No, Craig's from Dakota, South. So Filippo's an LA dude, you know, and he's fantastic. What does he speak? 7 languages fluently? That's all. You know, and so Neil Cousins has showed up there. Occupy brought Neil there. I remember when he first showed up. And, you know, of course, Million Mass Marchers, of course, everything gets stole from us. So all hands on deck. So it'd be perfect for one of you college students to go there and get to know Filippo and Craig and Just listen. Craig's a man of peace, and he's apolitical. He's not left, he's not right. He's not. And that's what it should be. Filippo, oh, he can go, man. He can go, and he puts in way too many fucking hours. So, and I need to start doing more of my part back there. I mean, I've got my grandkids here. I'm traveling around the world. It's so fucking hot here, but all hands on deck. So I'll post. Here's the simple way to do it. If you're in the area, what you can do is just walk over to. It's right across the street from we're back in our original place after Trump. And I want to say this too. This information out that Trump never tear gassed the park, whatever. We can prove that. I'll testify. Why don't one of you Washington Post go interview fucking Craig? He was the last one in the park that night in the tent. The last one. And they got tear gassed. And they tear gassed that fucking park, and they moved that fucking thing. You can say they didn't. We can fucking verify that they did. The last one in the entire park was Craig in that fucking tent that night. And I've had conversation with him about it and what they did. And that whole fucked up wall. Remember my videos up there at the fucking wall? The Peace Vigil, they actually picked it up and fucking physically moved it. I mean, it's really the first time in its fucking 40-year history. It's back where it belongs. So, right there across from the White House. And Craig's a big guy. You can't don't let him intimidate you. He's fucking nice as nice. He's really a fantastic, nice person. And Filippo, you can't miss that dude with his dreads hanging down, freaking to the ground. And you want to listen to somebody who can talk and go? Oh, he's the shit. He can go. And so in the wheelchair. So just need a little help. We'll get by with a little help from our friends. So we have to have somebody there standing 24/7, and it's been fought in court and battled in court, and they want us gone, and they've tried to get us fucking gone, and there's been so many times over 40 years that nobody thought it'd ever survive organically. And I will quote Neil Cousins to Kevin. I says, well, Neil, I need to come back and I need to get this thing fucking organized, in a structure organized where college students, different people can fucking start taking fucking turns. We need to get structured. Well, Kev, this thing's always been fly off the seat of your pants organic. And I says, well, yeah, you've been here since Occupy, 2011, Fukushima. I've been here longer than that, but that's true. I mean, it is as organic as it gets. And Craig said the same thing. We've had these discussions about it getting structured and having some money, but because there's so much money kicking around DC and these fake NGOs. But we were just having this conversation with Tim. Buffett, Gates, all these people fucking giving their money away. They're not really giving their money away. It's the tax code. It's on the fucking NFL's a nonprofit. It's all lies. We don't want that. Okay, so we don't want it. And I've kicked this around in my brain for years on the Peace Vigil, whether we should go there or not. And, I think that conversation that morning this year with Neil, I was being interviewed. I was on CBS, ABC. I mean, I was fucking on the national fucking news that day. French, I stand with Matteo Benjamin when they called the election, being interviewed by French PBS. And Neil says to me, Kevin, these rants you go on are fucking heavy. But I says, yeah, this is a tough gig. This pisses me off out in front of this thing. And we get some people hanging around. Oh, fuck, don't even get me going. But he says, Kevin, you know as well as I do, look how organic your site is. Look how organic you are. He says, this has always been grassroots organic, a few dollars in the fucking jar. That's all it's ever been. And we pulled it off. I thought a lot about that night. I did the night shift that night. The night of the election, I did the night shift on that fucking crazy fuck. After I chugged 2 bottles of champagne, smoked a fucking joint, which I don't smoke weed ever, and fucking shotgun 2 beers with some fucking guys celebrating with Matteo Benjamin and Code Pink. I did the night shift that night. I thought all night about that fucking night. I mean, whoa. Fuck, that was madness down there. I have my sign. Fucking right here from Clearback. I remember the first time I got there, and that was even before we officially christened it in 1980. It was in 79 or 78 I first got there. But Helen, she's getting up there. But this is really for people. Thank you, Josh. He's been fantastic doing this shift, and I mean, he's sacrificed himself. Craig's been there for a long time now, quite a few years. Philipos took over when Concepcion died. I mean, this is winter, spring, summer, fall, 24/7 through fucking, talk about the post office. Whoa. Neil in the mornings, and Kevin Blanche when he pops in and out of there, but I'm not there near enough. So all hands on deck. I'll send this to Craig and Filippo and just walk over there and say, hey, I'm a peace activist. I'm just here to lend a hand. I can help out do the night shift for a fucking couple weeks. I can help Craig out with the night shift. And all the contacts, Neil. But if I got to, I'll fly back there the next day or two. But I don't know. Maybe I send Peter. Be a good spot for him. But all hands on deck. All hands on deck. We'll get by with a little help from our friends. We'll get high with a little help from our friends. We've got to keep this thing going. And nobody thought that it could be done. And to me, it's a miracle that when he died, and thank you, and I want to say this too, because I don't say this enough, to Megan Rice, when Barack Obama put her in prison, fucking turned down the temperature and tried to kill her. I was at the sentencing hearing full of cancer. I've been involved with Megan Rice my whole life. Thank you for all the work that you've done, Megan. You are truly a saint in my eyes. I sat in the trial with the first ordained Roman Catholic nurse and the head of Plowshares, her, the Snow. She says, Kevin, I says, nuclear energy and nuclear bombs are one and the same. You guys got to quit with that rhetoric about you're okay with one or the other. And she says, boy, did you set us right. She says, I think you were sent by God, Kevin. Well, maybe so, but thank you to everybody in that DC group, the Dorothy Day House. Long live Dorothy Day. Long live peace. I mean, I know we've lost our battles, but that doesn't mean we still don't stop fighting. Long live Dorothy Day. Long live Dorothy Day. Long live William Thomas Hellenbach. Keep it going. All hands on deck. Just walk over there to the White House, right there, the little tent. You'll see Filippo or you'll see Craig and say, hey, and it's a non-paying job. You're going to get nothing. You get 0.0. You get 0. Maybe somebody will come by the goodness and give you a fucking soda pop or a bottle of water, but that's all you're going to get. But it'd be, young students, it'd be perfect for you. Just, it's a great place to visit with people too. Really. I was standing there here recently and Jesse Ventura come right up. Kevin, don't video, don't anything. Hung around there with me for 2 days. Had a really great fucking long conversation with Jane Fonda there not too long ago. Let's see who else I talked to there. And I'm not, me, I'm not impressed. I don't ask people for autographs or photo ops. I really don't give a fuck. I'm trying to think, one of the celebrity basketball players come by there and he says, God, you're the first person who hasn't asked me for my autograph. I says, you want mine? So just walk over there. We need some help. Stay tuned.